Oh shit, Carrie-Anne Moss is a Jedi? God, I really hope she plays a big part in this. Star Wars Acolyte. The Acolyte? Yeah, The Acolyte, I think that's it. It's new Star Wars time, everyone's favourite. And this time we wind back the clock 100 years prior to the events of Episode 1 in a time period known as the High Republic era. An investigation into a shocking crime spree pits a respected Jedi Master against a dangerous warrior from his past. As more clues emerge, they travel down a dark path where sinister forces reveal all is not what seems. This to me is hella exciting. I love Star Wars, but it's definitely coming to a point where we should be able to move away from anything and everything Skywalker related. And this bygone Jedi populated era gives birth to a massive new playground of interesting stories and characters to go with it. We've only had a few episodes so far, depending on when you watch this, but this isn't a whole review of the show, but more early impressions. And those impressions are, well, it's off to a pretty good start. Star Wars has always been a character over cast style franchise. Usually the tie to the series is the characters we recognise and the ties they have to previous elements in the story, instead of what big new celebrity is in it this time. Like a certain driving franchise I know. Anyway, so starting fresh could feel daunting, but I think they do a good job early out of the doors in achieving the most important thing, and that's finding interest in these new characters. Jung-jae, who the Western audiences will recognise from Squid Games. God, remember when that took the world by storm? That was only 3 years ago! And apparently Jung-jae learned English purely for this project. He can't speak English at all, and he honestly convinces me otherwise. He gives off this very solemn and wise aura as Jedi Master Soul. Wait, Soul? Solemn? Oh my god! He's currently one of the main centre points as we watch him almost play detective trying to unravel this scheme lurking on in the shadows. Besides his character being likeable, the dude's also got skill. We get a couple of great bits early on demonstrating the physical capabilities of the Jedi, particularly in hand-to-hand combat. One great scene with Carrie-Anne Moss and another with Jung-jae. I feel that's a side to the Jedi we don't really see all that often, and it was executed pretty well. Very fun to watch. Amandla Stenberg plays another one of her main characters called Osha, a former Padawan in training who left the Jedi, and for the most part she's fine. Her character currently feels, I don't know what the word is, like safe? Kind of like raided. Hopefully we see this character grow more into her own. The other character worth mentioning at the moment is Jedi Knight Yord, played by Charlie Barnett. Interesting in design, and Yord plays a more of a serious, studious type, refusing to bend the rules. On its own, could feel a bit flat and tedious, but I'm hoping it leans in well to the rest of the team, causing a nice balance. The group as a whole has yet to make a huge impact on me though, but it's still early doors. I'd love to see a bit more of that Star Wars George Lucas humour chucked in. I think it would help with the audience connecting with the team. Action is as good as you've seen in any of the other Star Wars TV shows, which isn't a bad thing, but it still lacks a bit of oomph. I've said this a lot in the past, and I think it's hugely because of the absence of that John Williams score and over-reliance of mid-frame camera shots. And that lack of interesting camera shots is purely because of Star Wars TV shows' over-reliance of shooting everything on stage instead of location. With the exception of Andor, which used a lot of open sets and locations, and coincidentally people loved. We have seen some great uses of the Force however, and not really meaning any new unnecessary ways of using the Force like in episode 9 with teleportation or healing, but just using the basic Force push and pull in new ways that we've not seen, like Force pushing the ground to create a shroud of dust and dirt. I mean, I think the show has promise, but I'm not going to lie and say it's the best thing since sliced bread. How we grow our characters from here will make a big difference in my end feelings for the show, unless they pull the rug from under us with some imaginative fun new lightsaber duels. Also, Star Wars is just always better in cinema, man. Bring back the movie formats again. But yeah, if you're seeing any of these reviews giving it like a 1 out of 5 stars, man, you just know they've gone into this looking to hate it already. One review I saw literally just hated the fact that we had another female lead, and that alone made it a 1-star show apparently. No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, I guess. I don't think anyone can judge this fully yet, and looking at its less than favourable averages on IMDb, I'd by default say it's better than what it's being reviewed at currently. I do think Star Wars fans should give it a try though, unless you're going into this already with a negative perception of Star Wars, because you'll just find problems with it no matter the quality of the product. Star Wars has a lot of trust problems amongst its fans though, and unfortunately this just looks to not be the one that begins building those bridges again. So yeah, Star Wars The Acolyte, have you already begun watching it? Or are you saving up to binge instead? Or maybe you're just outright not interested? Let me know either way in the comments below. If you enjoyed the review, feel free to leave a like and subscribe and all that stuff. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews on movies, anime and video games. Until next time guys, take care. Bye bye.